Today's story is about a DM who decides to look for inspiration in a not safe for work place. Let's place a log on the fire. So this all started about a week ago. I had recently been on a couple dates with a girl, and she invited me to join an in-progress campaign that she and her friends had going on. The campaign had just finished an arc not long ago, and the original DM had joined the group as a player, with one of the players becoming the new DM. The new arc with the new DM was on essentially session 2 when I'd be able to join, having introduced the setting and done a bit of world exploring in sessions 0 and 1. I rolled up a wizard character that I'd been bouncing around with some help from the old DM, who also brought me up to speed on what had happened prior. From there, I'd be dumped in to meet the group in the next session. There were 5 people in the group, including me, and everyone in the group except the new DM's teenage sister were in college. The party was currently in some form of demiplane that they had entered by jumping through a portal that had mysteriously opened up in a city and was spewing forth creatures. My only description I was given of these creatures was that they were corrupted. The party was given a piece of tree bark which they were told would be instrumental in them returning home, and entered the portal. Once they entered the portal, they explored a bit and possibly fought some slimes. It's a bit fuzzy, and I didn't really ask. My character would be introduced to the story as someone who had been hired by the party's benefactor to assist them in exchange for paying off a few debts in a long list of debts my character had in his backstory. My first session started with the party exploring a small abandoned village. When they entered one of the houses, they were attacked by a creature which was subdued after a short fight. The creature was clearly a fox morph of some kind, and the DM told the group she had clearly been corrupted by the world. I joked a bit about the creature being a furry, but didn't think much more of it. After learning that the village had been attacked by demons of some kind, the party set back along the road towards the portal. At this point, my character is introduced. There was some mistrust of my character due to past dealings with the benefactor, but he was folded into the group and the party began walking along the shore of a large lake. A boat dock with an accompanying boat was discovered, and a large island with a tree could be seen in the distance. One short boat ride later, and the party arrived at the decrepit dock on the island. The party begins to inspect the tree, which comes to life after cutting a sample of the bark off to compare to the party's piece of bark to confirm that they're from the same type of tree. After apologizing profusely to the tree, it began to talk to the party and introduced itself as Monet, the caretaker/deity of this world. At this point, things start to feel very familiar, but I can't, for the life of me, figure out why. The tree goddess, or whatever it was, continued to talk to the party about how the world we were in was beset by demons of some kind that were slowly corrupting the world. We were asked to destroy or shut down one of the factories owned by the demons that was polluting the lake around the island. The factory was located up in the mountains. It was at this moment that it hit me. A tree goddess that sends adventurers to shut down a factory in the mountains that's corrupting the land where almost everyone is a furry. This is corruption of champions. Corruption of Champions is a text-based, not safe for work game that focuses on body transformation and is known as a staple on associated forums. I had played the first couple of quests in the game before I decided the mass amount of furry content made it not really for me. But OP, I hear you say, it's just one quest hook that happens to line up perfectly, even down to the name of the tree deity. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I was certainly hoping so, that's for sure, but it continued from there. After the party left the island, they started walking towards the mountains in the distance. Not long after the walk started, we ran into a farm. As the group approached, a figure ran out to meet us. The figure turned out to be a dog morph person thing, and after confirming that we were in fact not demons, she introduced herself as Whitney. By this point, I was looking at the wiki to see if my fears were warranted. Yep, there's a wiki. So I searched the wiki for any characters named Whitney. And what do you know? Whitney is described as a dog morph and the owner of a farm that grew canine peppers. Someone asked what she grew, and the answer was indeed canine peppers. Try to guess what those do if you eat them. The session ended there after talking with Whitney, and I sent a few messages to the girl I'm dating describing what I had just discovered. She had no idea what I was talking about until she also checked out the wiki and was equally as disturbed as I was. She then talked to the old DM and showed him. As of right now, the others, and most importantly the new DM's sister, are blissfully unaware of what campaign they're playing through. The three of us that know are pretty much at a loss for how to react to this. A message was sent to the DM asking about it, but no response. What throws me the most is that the DM didn't even bother to change the names. He just straight ripped off the game for his campaign. The three of us have agreed that if any of us get turned into a furry, we're calling it quits, so we'll see what happens. So, update. D&D ended up canceled today. The DM called it off for reasons unspecified. I'm hoping it's because he's doing some rewrites, but the general consensus is that that isn't the case. For the time being, there has been no not safe for work content so far. The group has rolled really lucky on encounters, and the number of hostile creatures with intelligence has been low this far. However, we have been offered a lot of food, like the canine peppers. Eventually, the party may run out of rations and be forced to scavenge. This thought makes me very nervous. I really am hoping that nothing comes out of this, and all I'm left with is a bunch of awkward knowledge about the source material. Fingers crossed, but honestly, the ideal scenario right now might be that the DM either sees this or finally responds to the messages questioning the campaign's connection to the game and talks to the group. Pretty clever. By borrowing from a not safe for work game, the DM makes it so that if anyone brings it up, that it could be a very awkward conversation. This tactic is especially effective on shy players, which could be the ones most likely to play such a game in the first place. Hopefully, the DM will avoid making this horror story worse. What do you all think about this situation?